Hey everyone. Today we will make a kind of a personal information retrieval system where, for example, it depends on your use case, but for example, you could have a database, and whenever people want to, for example, for appointment setting bot, whenever a user comes back to your bot a couple months later and he doesn't know when he has scheduled an event, for example, then the goal is that he could just give in his name or any kind, it depends on your use case, but so that he could give in his name or any ID he has gotten for security reasons, and that way that he could retrieve his upcoming events, appointments, or any other information, for example. So it really depends on your use case, but I will first show in an example. We will open this demo bot for a second. Alright. Need to wait a moment. So, yeah, once again, it's all in Dutch, but you don't really need to pay attention to it. It's just, hey, how can I help you? And then, this is, I want information. It's, yeah, don't need to pay attention to this. Just the flow. So now we're in the flow. As you could see, we have our little test database here. And for example, when I want to retrieve information from, if I were Joss and I wanted to retrieve information, I could just give in my name, and just like that, we will retrieve all of our information. So I just don't need to pay attention to the whole structure of the message, it's just to test it out. But so as you could see, we have our email, our next appointment, which is 26th October. I still need to adjust this date, that it's in a standard standard way, I should say, and the reschedule link. So as you could see, this is all the information we have about him. So just his appointment date and the reschedule link. So this is the main goal, what we try and achieve. It's just a basic, but you can adjust it to however you like it or your needs. So I will first go in our Botpress flow. So as you could see, in the beginning we chose the second option. I want to retrieve information, so we will go to this workflow. Open this workflow, and I've made it with make.com and Zapier both. So those are, if you don't know them, they are basically softwares to automate different processes. For example, when someone books a meeting in your Calendly, this flow, let's say, will make sure that whenever someone books an appointment, it will automatically be detected in your database, such as Airtable. So Airtable is basically it has a lot of features, but I use it as a database for it's whenever you have a real life scenario, some company, and you need a large database that is reliable and stable over time, let's say. So that's our database, and I will first show you this actually. So we have our Calendly open somewhere. I will take a link. I will book an appointment. Let's say 25 at 1 o'clock. Our name we will pick tester, and our email will take wout@gmail.com, and I will plan it. So as you could see, it says your appointment is registered, let's say. It's just the confirmation link. Then as you could see, we go to Airtable and it automatically is integrated. So we have our name, our email, our date of the appointment, and our reschedule link. Of course, you can play with it, you could choose whatever you want. There are a lot of options. It really depends on your use case. But so it's just it's really simple to set up. It's not for this video, but if anyone wants information about this, I would be glad to make a quick tutorial about it or help them. For example, this is so I've made two triggers. We will first go to make.com, where it is, just here. So once again, these are softwares that can automate different processes. So the first process here is whenever, the one I just showed you, whenever someone books an appointment, that's his information, his appointment dates, and yeah, however you like it, it's really customizable, gets automatically yeah, added to your database, let's say. And then we have the second scenario. I will open it up real quick. We don't need this anymore. Where, as we just did, that a user could provide any of his details for for example, his name. Then based on his name, we will retrieve all of his other information in our Airtable, and then we will respond it back to our web chat, which is Botpress in this scenario. So once again, in Zapier we get the same. I don't have the paid version, so I can't publish them, but if you're familiar with Zapier, you could just test them once and just to see how it works. But it's exactly the same. So whenever someone has created an appointment, it will be updated in Airtable. His personal information will be added there, and then we will receive a message in our Botpress that it has been uploaded or registered successfully. And then, as in make.com, we have the same system here, a personal retrieval system, where a user could give in his name, and then we will give the user back all of his information in whatever you like. So in my case, it's when a user wants to view his upcoming appointments, for example. So I will quickly show you how to do it. We will first go to Botpress, to our editor. So here we choose the option, I want to retrieve personal information, and then this is our webhook for make.com. As you can see, I have it set up for Zapier and make, but it's actually the same. So here we just ask his name. This is not really it's not really secured very well. For example, in my case, it's mostly for right now it's for a couple of dentist offices, and I don't know how it is in everywhere, but in Belgium everyone has a unique number on his passport. So I will integrate it with the passport number ID instead of the name, but just to show you. So here we set up our webhook. It's exactly the same in Zapier and make.com. So we will close this. Once again, I'm using make.com right now, but I've set it up in Zapier, so if anyone wants these templates or wants some help, you can just send me or comment on the video or anything, and I'll be glad to provide it to you. But so make.com, the first thing you want to do is set up a webhook. Yeah, so this is our webhook, and this is, as you can see in our execute code cards in Botpress, this is our webhook. Let's see. Yeah, we have the right one. Oh yeah. So basically what this does is, whenever it comes on this flow, this webhook will be triggered. So this is just custom code to, this is just custom code to trigger the webhook and to send our wanted information. So here we just send our variable the name. So whichever name the user has inputted, we will send it to our make.com, let's say, to our integration. And so here, once the webhook is triggered, it will receive the name as a payload, and then we have set up an action of Airtable where it will go to my base and my table. It's what you can see here. This is my demo base, and my table is called clients. Once again, there is a lot of customizable actions, and here we select the fields that we want to output. So we want to output all of the fields. So in my case, name, email, date. Assignee, I didn't really use it right now, and our scheduled event URL. This is just our rescheduling. I call it the scheduled event URL, but it is the link if people want to reschedule. And then when you don't add a formula, it will just retrieve all of the users. So it will retrieve all of this information, and that's why you will need to use a formula. So our formula, it's really logical. It's just our name column. So this is basically our name column, as you could see here. Our name column must equal our received name from our webhook. So in this case, as we did earlier, it is Jos. Yeah, it's a Belgian name, so it's weird to pronounce it in English. You could set this to 1 to 10, it doesn't really matter right now. But so then it will look for every record in our name column. So it will look for every record for the name that we will provide. So I will, in a minute, I will do it once again with Jeff Bezos, for example. And then it will, as you can see here, the output fields, it will output all of this information based on the name that we found, let's say. And then you could also use a HTTP request for this, but it's really difficult. And yeah, then after trying some time, I found this one. It's really easy actually. It just responds back to the webhook. So as you could see here, our webhook, I'm sorry, gets triggered, and then in the same code we will receive our response. So this is also this. So here we receive our response and we start in a new variable called received data, as you can see here, and then we will automatically be directed to the next flow where we will just output our variable which we just stored our information in. So it's just a demo. You could customize it how you want, but that's the system. So it triggers when the webhook is triggered in Botpress, it will send the name to Airtable. Then based on this action, it will search for that name in our name column, and it will output all of these fields. And then here this is our response that gets sent back to our webhook. So as you could see, this is the message I wrote. That's why the structure is a little weird. It's just to show it to you. So okay, and that's basically how it works. So the webhook gets triggered and a name gets sent to here. Then based on the name, it will search for information about the user, about the client. Once again, now it's just with the name, but you could build up a more secure platform where every user, for example, has a unique ID or a two-step verification. With, for example, that the user gets sent a message and he needs to give in his code. So a two-step authorization system. It's not hard to set up. And then our response, so for which user it did find his information, will get sent back to Botpress. So that's basically it. It's all in one code. So the webhook gets triggered. Then it will look for the information about the name it receives in our name column. So you could all customize this, and it's just the basic. And then it will automatically store our response with the data about the user in a new variable called received data. And that's basically it. So this is the base. You could customize it however you like, and I've done it both with Zapier and make.com, and I must say it's my first day using make.com, but it went very easily. It works really well. I don't know what I've changed. Oh, just one, that's all right. Let's save it, and that's basically it. So I think make.com has made it more easier to set up in comparison with Zapier, but that's basically it. So we will try it once again, as I said. So we'll go to Botpress, we'll open our chat. After this, our conversation gets end, because I didn't do anything after this, so we can just start over again as we do here. We will just start it again. And then this time, I want to retrieve personal information. This time we will do Jeff Bezos. How did I do it? All right. Jeff Bezos. And as you could see, we will retrieve, so we will retrieve this email, this date. Here I edited wrong. I added, here I added the date that the event was created. So not the start date of the event, but the date the event was created. So it is today. This is a couple of hours ago. And but you don't need to. You don't need to worry about that. And as you can see, we have his name, his email, his plans, his next appointment, and his link to reschedule, just as we send it back here. So here we have name, email, his date, and his rescheduled event. So that's basically it. Furthermore, yeah, as I said, this is not really securable, security proof, or however you say it. But yeah, that's depends on your use case, how you want to use this. But that's really basically it. I just wanted to make this tutorial because I wanted to retrieve the information back, and I searched a lot online, but there are thousands of tutorials. How can you send information from Botpress to make.com or Zapier, but I couldn't find a single one. Literally, I couldn't find a single one that sends information back to Botpress in order to make a personal information retrieval system, as I just said. But yeah, so as you could see with the webhook response, it's actually really easy. In Zapier it was also not hard, so I hope you like it, and that's it.